and homebrewers. Um, Going to make my yeast starter for the brew tomorrow, and I realize I don't have any DME. Um, Realize that's probably not the first time it's happened to a home brewer, and frantically got on the internet and started looking up alternative ways. Found kind of an interesting concept and something that I think is probably a good idea if you have the time to do it. Basically, you make a mini mash out of your grains, which makes perfect sense because if you're making a yeast starter, shouldn't it be eating on the sugars that feeding on the sugars that your grain bill is? So today, in my first Homebrew Wednesday video, I am going to make a yeast starter from a mini mash. So I'll go over the ingredients and kind of go along with the process and show you what we're going to do.
Alright, the ingredients for this is just over a quart of water. The reason it's just over a quart is because we have to account for some of the water that's going to be absorbed by the grains and then also a little bit for the boil off. I have some yeast nutrient. It doesn't necessarily call for it in the original guide for this, so to speak, but I have it, so why not use it? Plus, I'm going to be using USO5, so it's not a liquid yeast, it's a dry yeast. So I was going to use that as well. The grain for it is actually going to be about 0.36 pounds, which works out to be about 5.76 ounces, so just over 5 3/4 ounces. Obviously, you're going to need some things over here, thermometers. I have a spoon over here as well, along with my nice little strainer, and this is just going to sit over the pot, and when it sits over the pot, I'll be able to pour the bed into this and basically use it to kind of clean it out and wash the grains. So let's go ahead. So my temperature just crossed over 150, and that's right where I'm wanting to be. It's right about 153 to throw in the grains here. And the reason I want it to be at that temperature is because ultimately I want my temperatures to be at 151 when I mash this out. So I'm going to let it go over. We're going to take it off the burner here just a little bit. Let this drop back down to where we want it to be at so we can pitch this. Then I'll throw it back on the warm burner and just continually fluctuate with the heat. Just kind of add a little bit of heat, take a little bit of heat away, just to make sure we're staying around 151. And we're just going to do a little mini mash.
I do apologize here. My laptop camera kind of died on me, so I've had to switch over to the camera phone. So I apologize, but basically here we've managed to get the grains in the water, and I doubt you can read this, but hey, here's to trying. One of them numbers right around in there is 140, one of them numbers is 160, and our dial is right in between there, so we're right at 151. And basically what I've been doing is stirring it like that just to make sure that the temperature stays even throughout, and then if it gets too hot, just pulling it off the burner, letting it sit for a little bit, and then putting it back on. So alright, what we've done now is basically created a grain bed here in my strainer here, and we're pouring, kind of like doing a wort off, I guess. Just taking the wort and pouring it right back over top of the grains. I'm trying to pour slow enough to not let the wort spill over the side of the grain bed. I'm trying to get it to actually go through the grain bed so that it can sift out all the sediment. I'll probably do this about maybe 6 or 7 times and get rid of all of what you see there in the bottom of our jar here. And that's basically, I mean, this is getting poured directly into your fermenter. Alright, we've collected our wort, and we're actually getting ready to do the hot break, I believe, here. Getting ready to hit the boil, and we'll boil it for 10 minutes. Put in our yeast nutrient, and then we'll chill it down. Get it within range, around 70 degrees. We'll pitch our yeast, and then close it up, and get ready to use it tomorrow. Alright, our short little boil is almost over here. Just took a few more minutes, but I was going to show you basically what we got set up in the sink here is just a little ice bath. If you're doing what I'm doing and putting your yeast starter in a glass bowl, you can pour this directly in that glass bowl and then put it in that ice water. But as home brewers, we know what will happen. So I'm going to chill this wort down a partial way in the metal container here, and then we'll transfer it over. Alright, and away we go here. We are in our ice bath, and we'll let this sit for just a minute, and as soon as it cools down, I'll try and... Alright, so we got the temperature down to around 70 degrees, and I have my Safe Hail US 05, and we're just going to sprinkle this in, and we'll give it a quick little stir, and then we are going to cover it up with some aluminum foil just to keep everything out, because remember, this is going directly into your fermenter. And because of that, you need to have it clean and bug free. Give this a little bit of a stir and knock it down.